Yo, what is up? So, I thought I would upload a video on my impressions of the 25.9.1 drivers, and I've been confused so far. So it's been pretty much been a mixed bag really. So as I said, I was confused at first, but I think I've figured out what's going on. But so the first game I wanted to try was the First Ascendant, since it's an anti-cheat game. And I did try updating the file in DLSS swap up to 3.1.4, but it just come up anti-cheat, so it flags it and it doesn't let you start the game. But fortunately, it did actually work with the default FSR file in the game, because it is actually 3.1 in the game. So luckily, so it comes up available, and then it comes up active now, top right. But there is a few things people need to know about this, so I won't mention it just yet. But so I do have a playthrough of this. So as you can see there, it shows itself to be active, which is quite important. So I'll go into the gameplay and I'll check it out, because this is meant to be 4.0.2, and the main thing on this game is it's just because AMD don't have the ray reconstruction. There is a lot more aliasing, like rough aliasing in the game. You notice it more at night on this game as well. So that's pretty much what I saw before on the 4.0.1 version. Uh, I think the image quality may have been a bit better uh, when I'm looking at my character, but the aliasing is still rough. So I did do like 2 missions just to literally test it out. So I do really actually like this game. It's one of my favourite games, along with probably FIFA Online, or it's FC 25 now, 26 shortly, but end of this month. But yeah, so I'll pretty much know everything about this game, because I've played it a lot on Nvidia, and so usually the hair quality does look more stable on the DLSS 4, and it does when you're spinning the character around. But when you just don't spin it around, the hair quality has dramatically improved on the FSR 4, 4.1 even, say 4.0.1 and 4.0.2. It did literally improve quite a fair bit, to be fair. And so comparing it to FSR 3, it just looked pretty terrible, and I couldn't even play it. But now I can actually play it at 1440p. So I mean, that says a lot for itself. So at least the experience is a lot better now, so people can enjoy it, such as myself, on this game. So no doubt Nvidia, it's looking better on Nvidia. Simple as that, really. So you're going to find this in their sort of exclusive sort of games, where it's literally been built to suit all their technologies. That's what's going to happen. Although Black Myth Wukong did literally surprise me, because it is pretty much a tie in that, to be honest. So I think definitely for this game, we're probably AMD users will have to wait for FSR Redstone, because I believe, hopefully, as I understand it, you can actually enable ray regeneration, and probably the multi-frame gen and all that through the app, just like you're doing with FSR 4. Whether the developers were actually doing this game, I wouldn't be too confident, but who knows? I mean, if CD Projekt Red can put FSR 4 into a game, then miracles can happen. Because I never thought I'd see the day with that. So that's possible, and at least they did actually put FSR 3.1 into the game. And I did notice on Nvidia's side, at the default, they haven't even got the latest DLSS file. So hopefully, I mean, we can only literally wait and see, really. Because on this game, I do really like it. I'm quite a fan of this game. Uh, they do a really good job of they always update it, give you more story and different sort of missions, and just to keep things interesting. And there's just it's like the game don't run out of things what you need to do. So it is very grindy, but at least you never get bored with it. So with although you do need a break from it 100% because of the grind, but I always find it's a game I can sort of come back to and enjoy it. So at least now I can play it on AMD or Nvidia, and it's definitely, as I said, you do get the edge on Nvidia, but it's not so bad now that I can't play it on AMD because I was literally seeing it as soon as I switched over to the AMD system. It was very, very dramatically worse on the AMD with the image quality, and it was more noticeable at 1440p. But it is so much better now, and as I said, it's just the aliasing that is rougher on the AMD. So you would just notice that in certain parts like Albion. Albion's probably the place where I noticed it the most. Then there will be some other levels, but it's nothing too off-putting. Nothing I can't tolerate anyway. So yeah, I mean, I did check in this game. I didn't actually record it, but during a gameplay, it was definitely active. So I do take a screenshot of it. So I'll be showing that in a sec. So, so it was definitely working in this game through the Adrenalin app, which should be 4.0.2, because I do another test to confirm if it is uh, later on in the video. So it was definitely working. So that is the best you'll get at the moment. OptiScaler just don't work in this game, so I can't compare it with the OptiScaler version of FSR 4.0.2. I'll just do one more mission, and yeah, as I say, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, aliasing does run. I imagine that clears up at 4K just because of the resolution, but no doubt in my mind that ray reconstruction is what AMD need, so that's gonna obviously be called ray regeneration instead. So I might as well tell you my thoughts more on the drivers so far. When I first downloaded them, what I did was I actually, on the games I wanted to test, I just completely removed OptiScaler because I didn't want none of the files interfering with the process of enabling the FSR 4.0.2 file. Uh, so I wasn't even sure if it was actually the FSR 4.0.2 file, so I needed to confirm it, and it definitely is the latest file, which is good. But as I said, there's a few issues that sort of confuse me, but we'll get into that. But yeah, so it took me a while because I was working on the Black Myth Wukong video, so I didn't actually try it the other day. But so I knew they actually dropped. A few people told me as well, and so I was actually concerned that it was still going to be 4.0.1. So, but it does look like, so that's a good thing. But it's just in some other games, I'm not. I'm pretty sure it's not working. So that was a disappointing thing. And again, I'll get into it more. Because what I've done is I've recorded all this footage and I'm just talking over it to just show you my experience what I've had so far, because I think it will help a lot of people out that are just as confused as me about what's going on. And I know they did actually say in their release notes that it's not going to work in every game, but it will work in most games. But it was confusing to me why it, especially one game, I was thinking surely it's going to work in that, but it turned out it didn't. So for me, I mean, I do really like FSR 4, but it's just there's definitely a frustration actually getting it into a game. So I can understand that. So AMD, I mean, it's a good. I think it's a great update for the normies that refuse to literally use OptiScaler. But then I still can't see. It's gonna depend on the game. But so if it's working in the game, uh, it could be yeah, it could be good. It's what we want. But then I'm finding it not to work. I mean, if you're looking at Black Myth Wukong, there is actually no FSR 3.1 in the game, so you would still need to use OptiScaler for that. So there's no and another game is Final Fantasy Rebirth, which I'm surprised. I mean, Square Enix are. I really like their games, but they do frustrate me with some of the things they do because there's no ultra wide support in both of their games, Final Fantasy 16 and Rebirth. And the other thing is there's no FSR in Rebirth, which is I don't know why. They put the crappy TSR in, but no FSR, so I don't know. Um, so the only way of getting that to work with FSR 4 at all is to use OptiScaler and just literally overwrite the OSS, and then you get into the game. So the adrenaline toggle isn't going to do that, and this is what people got to understand that if you literally refuse to use OptiScaler, you might as well just forget FSR 4 in some games because it's not going to happen. So this is why I've said in the past, you are getting the better experience using OptiScaler. Uh, don't listen to these NVIDIA fanboys that are saying, it's not in every game, you're not getting the support. Uh, I mean, if you want it that badly, just use OptiScaler and then you'll be happy. I mean, for me, that is how I think. Otherwise, you're just sort of playing into the hands of the NVIDIA fanboys that just like to bash at AMD at every opportunity because I don't know, they're just weirdos, really. I mean, gamers for me should stick together. They shouldn't say, FSR shouldn't be in the game like Expedition 33. There is no reason why FSR should not be in that game where you got XESS, DOSS, and TSR. So that's how I see it. If you wanna back the decisions of these corporations, I mean, for me, I'm on the side of the gamer. Uh, I'm not on the side of the developers, all the like AMD, Nvidia, their companies. I'm not on the side of them. I'm on the side of the consumer, and that's how I think. If I think there is something that's not fair, I will say it, and that's literally how I run this channel. And for me, the modding community is definitely doing a great job, especially the people that developed OptiScaler. For me, that's literally improved my experience. So that's literally I haven't changed at all since I started this channel. I started it to share my passion for gaming, to help people out if I can. Uh, Although I can't help everyone out because I do get limited time, but I'll do my best to upload the most important videos and just help people out to enjoy PC gaming a bit more. And I do believe with OptiScaler you are getting a better experience. I understand it is confusing, but I do upload a ton of videos on it, and all you got to do is watch them, and you will learn how to use it. And some people, it's a shame that some people just refuse to use it, and they sort of don't want to take the time when they will definitely be getting a better experience because I can't see why they wouldn't be able to when you if you get an FSR 4 into games that you can't get in you're literally having to use FSR 3 and wait. So I can't see how the experience won't be any better. And as I've said, there's games where they won't put FSR frame generation into a game. You literally just use the Nukem mod in the OptiScaler to convert it to FSR frame gen by enabling it through the DLSS input. So if that's not a better experience, I don't know what is. I mean, so yeah, whatever. Anyway, so I do check out Stellar Blade. So just before I stop talking there about OptiScaler, you will see it come up active top right, but then it just disappeared. So I did check it again, and it didn't look like it was working. So I could tell straight away the hair quality wasn't as good as I've seen using 4.0.2 in OptiScaler. So all I can think is it's not working in Celebrate because that's what I was seeing as well. So even though it come up active top right, I'm pretty sure it wasn't active. So I thought that might change it just by going balance, but it didn't. So that was using the default file in the game. So what I'll do is I'll just exit the game and see if updating the file made it become active when I'm in the game. But no matter what I did, it was just inactive. Although it wasn't showing inactive, but I'm pretty sure. So this was the thing I was trying to figure out: is it actually active or not? But because I've experienced what FSAR 4.0.2 looks like, I'm pretty sure it's not working properly in this game. So there is I mean, at this point I was wondering, is this even, it comes up active there and then it disappears. So I'm pretty sure, and again, I'm looking at the image quality and I'm thinking, nah, it's not FSAR 4.0.2, even though these drivers, I do find out that it's 4.0.2, but this game is not working, and I can see the hair quality is worse than what I've seen. So it is breaking up. So I'm not even sure. It didn't look like it was working at all. So, and as you can see, there's no green tick to say it's active. So what I've learned during this test really, and all of my other tests, is I'm pretty sure that needs to say active with a green tick when you're actually in the game. If it's not there, it's not working. So that's again, I'm not 100% on this, but it did line up with another game I test right at the end of the video, and actually two another one did confirm it to me from what I saw in the game that it wasn't working, and then I checked that again with pressing Alt and R, and it didn't. It literally said nothing. It didn't say inactive, but then it didn't say it was active. So I'm uploading this video mainly to see if we can figure out what is going on. This is my theory anyway, so you can try it out for yourself, compare the image quality. Uh, Once you're actually in the game, that is when you check to see if it's active. I wouldn't take too much notice of what it's saying top right. If it says active, it could actually not be active. So this is why I'm making this video. So I did actually do all that. I updated the files, but it turned out to be no different. So it's basically going to be a fairly lengthy video, just because I wanted to show everyone step by step what I'm doing, and that is a DLSS swapper file, so I just got rid of that. So I just wanted to make sure it's the latest file to see if it did work. Um, as I said, it's the same outcome, it just does not come up active on Stellar Blade. So it just seemed a bit pointless, and so I'm not sure what other people are going to do, but for me at the moment, I think I'll probably carry on with OptiScaler because I like it. I like how in some games I can even get frame generation in the game. I'm even using it on Nvidia, so it's good for Nvidia when I want to try out multi-frame gen, which Jensen locks the 4000 series out with. So I mean that is impressive how it can do that. There's so many things you can do in the configuration settings. So I mean, I don't listen to these fanboys telling me that with the mods you get all crashes and all that, because I haven't had anything like that. The only time I get crashes is when the developers don't do their job. You do get crashes if you don't install it properly. I agree with that, but I do make a lot of videos showing people how to do it. So yeah, there's potential there, but like anything, I mean, on Nvidia, you get crashes with their drivers, with the Blackwell especially. So for me, it's pretty much whatever. I mean, it's part of the game. So it's not really something I think, well, I'm getting a worse experience using OptiScaler. It's a much better experience that I can actually get FSR 4. As soon as a game comes out, I don't have to rely on developers or AMD. Even I can just put it into a game, and pretty much 99% of the time it works. And I'm finding all these Unreal Engine games to be pretty similar install processes. Anyway, as you saw there, it's not active. So the last thing I did was actually use OptiScaler, and it just looked so much better. So I'm pretty sure that is how FSR 4.0.2 should look. And all I can think is this game is just not working with the adrenaline toggle, which which was quite surprising to me because it was working before these drivers with the 4.0.1. But I'm pretty sure I do think that is the issue, that it's just not actually active, even though it's saying active. So it will be interesting to see if this is why, because from our tests, I think that is what's happening. It's just not working properly in every game, and they did say most games, but there's still, I mean, this is very early testing for me, so I will learn more about these drivers as the month goes on. But these are my first impressions of it, and when I get more time, I can have another look at it. But because I want to try it in Final Fantasy 16 to see if, because that was a game that wasn't previously actually supported tonight to use OptiScaler in that, and that's had 3.1 for ages. So I mean that's a very popular game. That so I don't. That is again I think they need to be just doing maybe there's a lot of work going on with FSR Redstone, but I do think there is games where I'm thinking it should be working, and again that's why I'm sort of not relying on AMD. I'm just going with OptiScaler, and you'll see. I mean, it should be coming through. I mean, YouTube compression does annoy me because it literally can make the image a bit more blurry, but it does depend. I've noticed in Star Wars Outlaws, for some reason that engine really is bad for YouTube compression, but you should be able to see that the hair quality now is a lot less shimmery in motion, and it's not breaking up, and that is definitely at this time this is the best experience you can get on any upscaler in the world. This is the best experience you'll get using the FSR 4.0.2 using OptiScaler. Uh, that it just looks great. So again, when I used the Adrenalin toggle with the latest drivers, it didn't look like this. So that's how I'm going to play this game. So again, I haven't. uh, I've been purposely not playing this game because I don't want to move away from this area because it's a really good area to test. But I do want to get into it at some point. So I was pretty much convinced it weren't working on this game. So the next thing I wanted to test is whether these drivers actually do update it to FSR 4.0.2 using the Adrenalin toggle, which should transform a game into using FSR 4. So what I've done is I knew with the launcher game it would literally show me. So I installed The Last of Us Part 2. So it was 3.1.3. So I applied it, went back into the launcher, and it did say FSR 4.0.2. So that's a sign that it is using the latest file. Whether it's going to work or not, it depends on the game. So I loaded the game up to see if it was actually working, and it did shock me that it wasn't, because what I did. So this is pretty much what confirmed to me. Uh, I'd be shocked if I'm wrong, but if you press Alt and R in the game and it says it just says nothing and it don't have a green tick, even though it can say active when you load the game up. Top right, because it does seem to come up right top right now. So I could be wrong and it could be working, but then it's just not looking good. So maybe it's that, but I don't believe it's working at all, because when I looked at this game, uh, even when I updated it manually, it looks better in this game. When I put the 3 files in from GPU open, so I was a bit confused why. As soon as I loaded it up, I look at the vegetation on the floor and it was shimmering, and then I checked it and it wasn't active in actual Adrenalin app. And the annoying thing about this is I did check it and it didn't record it, that I was looking at the Adrenalin software. So I don't know why. If someone can tell me why that happens, I would like to know, because it is very annoying. Uh, but you can see I'm standing still, and I'm doing something else. So I'm checking it here, but it just didn't record it. So it just literally said nothing, and that was it. So it just said it. It had the toggle enabled, but there was no green tick. So by all means, do that. You can check it for yourself, and you should see the same thing. So the only thing I didn't do is I didn't change any files. I left it at the default file, but I just thought, this is going to be a long video if I keep doing that in every game I test. And I don't believe you should have to change a file. I think it should be more of a user-friendly experience, because a lot of normies are not going to know how to change a file in DualSS Swapper, etc, etc. It should be working with every 3.1 file, really. So that's how I've done it, and I did test it instead of laid, and nothing worked anyway. So all I can think is it's got the latest FSR 4.0.2 file, but it's not working in every game. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if it lines up in other games with my theory that, I mean, the last game I test is pretty convincing, to be honest, the Mafia. So as soon as I loaded it up, really, something fell a bit off. It looked worse compared to the SDK files I used. Although I literally only had a brief look at it, I didn't notice shimmering straight away on the grass. So that was the interesting thing for me. There was more shimmer. Definitely, if you look at that little bit of grass there. So straight away I thought, yeah, this ain't great. This isn't working. And then I checked in the menu again, and it just wasn't working. So that was pretty convincing for me to just end that test. And then I went on to the Mafia. So like I've done with all the other games, I just completely removed OptiScaler. It's a default file, which is actually 3.1.4 in this game. So I enabled the toggle. It literally says active top right, but I'm not going to take much notice of that. But now it actually says active, and then I wanted to check it. And the good thing is it actually recorded the overlay in this game. Otherwise, that would have been a big issue in this video, because I wouldn't have been able to show you it. So this game is a game I've literally played most of it on the FSR 4.0.2. So I know what to look for, I know the differences. So I was pretty confident that I'd be able to tell a difference straight away with it as soon as I put it on. I mean, I only had to look at the grass, really, to be fair. And because the 4.0.1 version was good, but I could notice a difference in the grass, and it's just a lot cleaner on the FSR 4.0.2. So I've obviously got the latest drivers, and as you can see there, it's active. So as soon as I saw that, I got a bit more confident that it might actually be working in this game. And I had a look at the grass, and it did confirm that it is working. So that looked great. That lived up to my expectations of what FSR 4 should look like with using the latest file, 4.0.2. So yeah, that was basically my conclusion, that if you enable it in the Adrenalin app, but it don't say anything once you press Alt and R in the game, it's not working. So it needs to say active. This is what I think anyway. Anyway, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.